I went on the first trip to Indonesia in 2008. Well, I'd always been interested in missions ever since I first became a Christian. And just because of my job, I really never felt available to go until I retired. And so after I retired and the trip opportunity came up, I was really excited about it and wanted to go. Well, we went to Indonesia and we went to a high school and taught some English lessons to a group of high schoolers, and then we also had a 2-hour kind of in-service with the staff at the high school, and then we went to a town outside of Jakarta where we had a retreat with all of the church planters that had gathered there for to encourage one another and to have fellowship. The first one was that I was hesitant about going because flying to Indonesia was going to be like a 24-hour plane trip. But since I have trouble sitting that long, the group flew to Hong Kong first, which was only 15 hours, and we stayed overnight and then continued on to Jakarta. But I had a real hard time deciding whether to go or not. And so the night before I made my decision, I was talking to my husband and I said, I just don't think I can go. I don't want to get to Indonesia and be on an ice pack for a week. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I just heard the words, go. So I got up the next morning and said, I'm going to Indonesia, and if my back hurts, it's the Lord's problem, not mine. So I did have a few uncomfortable sessions over there, but otherwise I was really glad that I made the decision to go. What I anticipated was that I was going to a country that was, in my mind, a third world country. And I was really surprised by how sophisticated the culture was, the people were, how intelligent they were. And I think my first biggest surprise was when we went to this church in a gated community, and I was expecting to go to house churches and sit on the floor, and we went to a church that was just as every bit as sophisticated as a church you would find here in California. And so that was shocking, especially when we had to sing in front of everybody. Well, for me, it was really a faith-building experience because I really had to trust God that He'd really called me to go in spite of feeling a bit handicapped. And I also had to go with 4 other men. And so sometimes that was a little difficult until we got to the retreat, just because I didn't have the communication I was used to getting with being with other women. I just really have a heart for the Muslims, for Indonesia, for the church planters that face difficult situations over there. You know, there's just nothing like being there and seeing how people live and hearing their stories. And so, you know, I count it as one of the greatest experiences in my life. really grew in faith and learning to trust him. And just because you trust God doesn't always mean that he makes things easy on you. And that sometimes when you experience suffering, you you realize your own vulnerability, but you also realize how much more you need him. I would say don't go because you're curious or because you like to travel or because you want to see the world, but go because you really feel that God is calling you to go. I mean, I could go on and on about all the experiences that we had, but if you're not there, you don't really get to, to experience the impact. But okay,
yeah,
all righty.